Today's how we do it is focused on staying away from lust. It's focused on staying away from falling when it comes to the area of immorality and lust. And those of us who are succeeding or have a track record of success win well before we ever face battles. For many of us, it's even the case that we don't have as many opportunities to sin. There are reasons for that, right? We don't find ourselves in bars on a regular at 3 a.m., things like that. But there are other things that I want to talk about. Things like when we are at home by ourselves and no one is there to point a finger or to be embarrassed for us, or where you would blush if someone saw what you were watching, we still police ourselves. And it gets even more granular. So maybe, for example, you're at a barbershop or a salon, and there is something. It doesn't happen every time, but this happens to me once in a while. Something will be particularly provocative, like a magazine or something that's on the table. Maybe it's a flyer or something like that. And if it isn't, I don't pay it any mind. It doesn't strike me as an attack or a dart or something that's trying to pull me into the spirit of lust. But if it does strike me as sort of like pulling in a certain sense, I'll flip the magazine onto I'll put something on top of it, right? I'll take some kind of action to right my environment. It's the same thing with my social media use. So if I'm consuming social media, I should consume less social media. It's a problem. Pray for me. But if I'm consuming social media and I see something that I don't want to see next time, I actually take the time to long press and then say not interested, or to click the 3 dots and to say not interested. Taking action, not just swiping away, is important because you're training your brain to say no. You are flexing the muscle that God has given you of ability. You have ability, you have choice, you have volition, you have power, and you're using it to strengthen your no. There are things that other people have taught that I also agree with, having to do with, hey, don't be in compromising positions or situations with women. But even in my life, in my story, when I have made mistakes and been in compromising positions, the fact of not spending time thinking about doing things with someone protected me from my foolishness causing me to be destroyed. And if you have, made mistakes, when I say to be destroyed, obviously I'm hoping you understand that I don't mean permanently, right? I mean to suffer setbacks. How we do it is, it's a practical life of saying yes to holiness. And now I'm going to get into the mental realm. Sometimes we don't recognize that what we are thinking is conditioning us. Like if you're thinking about how if such and such a person came to you and they made a pass at you or they flirted with you, how we would progress. And we don't notice that we play the film all the way to the bedroom scene. We allow the film to play. My point is, don't allow the film to play. In your imagination space, stop the movie. Don't allow that person to, lead you through wanting something that you also want. I hope you don't, but the way it can frame is as what ifs, as imaginations, because it'll never really happen. That's the thing. It's conditioning you to fall when the opportunity presents itself. It's conditioning you to say yes, right? In my story, in my life, there have been, women who have told me like, hey, let's have a good time. Let's do some things. And it didn't seem logical to me. It didn't seem, no. And the reason that my no was so easy to come by is because I had never allowed my imagination to wonder, what if, I had this escapade, right? No, I stopped the imaginations and the wanderings of my mind, so that I have a protection of innocence both within and without. And I think that's the summary that I'm trying to bring about, that the protection from lust is from within to without. It's from the inside to the outside. A lot of people want it to be from the outside, putting all the barriers with the softwares and the barriers with the accountability, the barriers with and all of these things are very good. I really recommend them. But if the barriers are not also operating within, if the barriers are not also operating on the inside of you, you're going to struggle when you have an opportunity, right? No one can legislate or use laws to regulate human nature. And so God's solution is to change your nature. It's not just to make it such that you're less likely to sin. God is definitely about that. But to make you a person who does not want to sin. And so he says things like, take my word in. He tells this to Joshua, meditate upon it, let it not depart from your mouth, that you may have good success, right? In God's world, it's not just success, it's good success that he wants you to have. In the area of, staying away from lust, or staying away from falling to lust, one of the things you have to remember is the battle is won before the battle is fought. The battle is won in the realm of the unseen, when you are by yourself, ever before someone presents themselves to you, or you have an opportunity for banter, like witty, flirty banter with someone. I hope you understand that I'm not asking you to be religious. I hope you understand that I'm asking you to separate yourself to the holiness that is the gift that God has given to you. You cannot earn the holiness as much as you preserve the holiness that has been given to you. Because if you're trying to earn the holiness, you can not do X or Y or Z, but still be full of lust in you. You need to be given that gift first. You need to receive that gift first and then preserve it, right? Treat it as something precious. God celebrates every win. God celebrates every time that you exercise yourself in this way. And I celebrate you too. So, go and keep winning.